Hi, I'm Kara, and this is Culture Beat, the Creators Project's bi-weekly roundup of all the most exciting, outlandish, and mind-expanding art content we can get our hands on. In this episode, we'll visit Ryan Doyle's post-apocalyptic LA art opening, talk to Randy Cano about his uncanny CGI animations, and dive into the Creators Project archive for a look at the world's largest underwater sculpture built in the Bahamas. Ryan Doyle is a digital artist and draftsman from Detroit, whose work seeks to terrify and empower his audience, pushing them outside of their comfort zone. We visit him at the Super Chief Gallery in LA.
I mostly work with art material called Detroitus, which is just Detritus from Detroit, and turning it into things that people can interact with, something that you can push buttons in. I love using references from the military world and try to put a more positive spin on them. The piece that we're showing tonight is called the Rieger Shader. It's a pulse jet powered spinning centrifuge that you ride in. And as you spin around, it literally pulls the contents of your stomach out. Like, I make people overcome that fear.
We first discovered Randy Cano's trippy CGI animations through his Instagram account, where he posts surreal portraits, textures, and impossible shapes and forms on almost a daily basis, which has attracted a large social following to his work.
I started getting more experimental, just wanting to try something different. Just to find myself and explore different techniques. I like making things that are really unexpected and not too obvious. I like leaving people with questions. I like getting people engaged into my work and having them relate to it in some kind of way. When I just started, my intention was always just to learn. Like, I wanted to learn liquid simulations and weird dynamic pieces, the way things react when they bounce to each other. One of my more popular pieces was this head morph that was just morphing up and down with the yellow background. I'm giving people something that they've never seen before. That's always one of my goals, is to push myself and try something new. In the 3D world, you can do sculptures, you can do photography, you can do painting, texturing, lighting. It's like you wear all these different hats, and it's cool to be able to bring them all together to make a piece.
British artist Jason DeCaires Taylor builds large-scale underwater sculptures that double as habitats for ocean life. 2 years ago, the Creators Project traveled to the Bahamas to see Taylor assemble the world's largest underwater sculpture, a 60-ton figure that reaches from the sea floor to the ocean surface.
I do try doing land-based projects, and although I find them very interesting, nothing has the same appeal as the underwater world. How the works change is so profound and so dramatic and so meaningful. This piece, this atlas, is all about the younger generation supporting our oceans and stopping them from collapsing. This is the largest piece I've ever done. When we put the base plate down and we started to get the first piece in position, I just thought, God, how on earth are we going to do this? And have I made an enormous error? It was a huge relief when the first piece locked into place. I always have to sort of remind myself that the piece is not ever finished. It would be interesting how it looks in 10 years, 20 years' time, and seeing what changes occur.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Culture Beat. We'll see you next time for more arts and culture stories from around the world.